Hello and welcome to the Christmas Day edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where I forgot to put my Christmas hat on. I put my headphones on. My brain is elsewhere. It's left the building. Anyway, I wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy 2024, obviously. And look at this beautiful, beautiful puzzle we're going to be having a look at today. We've had loads of recommendations to do this puzzle today. Because it's apparently a gorgeous puzzle and obviously the very festive theme. It's called Tannenbaumino and it's by Chris Moore. I've done Chris Moore's puzzles before. I remember there was one about Saturn, wasn't there? The moons of Saturn or something. That was a great puzzle. And this is apparently wonderful. The tree is decorated with ornaments and baubles, and in the version that should appear on the thumbnail, these thermometers here appear as candles, which is rather gorgeous. So I'll read you the rules to this in a moment or two's time. I don't have much news for you today other than obviously to wish you many festive greetings. I think I will just skip to the birthdays and wish a couple of people who share their birthday with Christmas Day, which I know I've got a relative whose birthday is on the 24th, so yesterday, and she always finds it's tricky because you try and keep her birthday apart from Christmas, but you can't really do that this time of year. But anyway, Noel, you've turned 64 today. Many happy returns. I know this because your son Pete wrote to us. I think, Noel, you're in Bristol, but early in the new year you're retiring to North Yorkshire with your wife. I wish you all the best for that. I know your son Pete found the channel through the crosswords and now stays for the Sudoku, which I can understand absolutely. But Noel, many happy returns. I know you're going to get some sort of cake today, whether it will be birthday cake or Christmas cake, I don't know. But also another birthday, Suzanne, over there in the Netherlands, has turned 48 today. And I know this because your fiancé Prem wrote to us. And I know, Suzanne, you are having double frosted chocolate cake today. Now that is the perfect type of cake, providing there's enough frosting, of course. So I'm sure you're going to have a great birthday too. And I wish you many, many happy returns. That's it. Why don't we kick straight on with the puzzle? A short introduction for a change. And let's have a look at the rules of Tannenbaumino. And let's see what Chris Moore has got in store for us this Christmas Day. We have got gather around the tree, divide it into pentominoes, i.e. 5-cell cages. So a pentomino is something like that. 5 cells connected along edges. So this is not a pentomino. Although that is 5 cells, these two are not connected by edges to the rest of the shape. So that is not a pentomino. No two pentominoes have the same shape, even when rotated or reflected. Right, let's think about what that means. So that means you couldn't have that as a pentomino and then that as a pentomino somewhere else in this shape, because this one down here is just a reflection and rotation of that one up there, which is too naughty for words. Digits may not repeat in a pentomino, so that's interesting. So if this was a pentomino, that would mean that digit could not appear in these 2 squares, because otherwise it would repeat in that pentomino. The tree has ornaments, dots of several colours. If a pentomino contains a green dot, it is what does that say? Germanimo. It's a Germanimo. Adjacent pairs of digits inside it differ by at least 5. Right, okay, so that is saying, so if that was a pentomino, this is no, it's not a pentomino. Well, it is a pentomino. It now becomes a Germanimo, and then those 2 digits would differ by 5. These 2 would differ by 5. Those 2 would differ by 5. Those 2 would differ by 5, etc. So it sort of takes German whispers rules into pentomino land. If the pentomino contains a red dot, it is a Renbanimo. It contains 5 consecutive digits. So if this was a pentomino, those digits would be consecutive. So they could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for example, or they could be 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, or something in between, but they have to be consecutive. Black, white, and silver dots. Right, so we've got white dot, a black dot, a silver dot, I think. Show a boundary between two pentominoes. Black means their totals are in a 1:2 ratio. Okay, so what that's saying is if that's a pentomino, let's just say that's a pentomino, then the sum of digits in this one is either double or half of the sum of the digits in that one, I think. White, that's that one, look. So let's fill in that one in a different colour. I know I'm leaving gaps. I'm not trying to do it correctly. I'm just trying to do it by example. So, oh no, I've got this wrong as well. The white dot is saying that. Oh, hang on, I'm going to have to delete everything. Let's just delete everything. So the white dot is saying, let's say that was a pentomino, and this is a pentomino. Now the white dot is saying that their totals differ by 1. So it's a bit like a Kropki dot, but it's applied to the whole pentomino total. And the silver dot, which is that one, let's do that, and we can't have the same type of pentomino. Let's do that and that. So what does this one mean? Their totals are equal. Okay, so this one and this one would have equal totals, is how that works. And digits increase along a candle, i.e. a thermometer. So starting at the bulb end, you must increase digits. So if this square was a 3, this would have to be higher than 3. It doesn't have to be 4, but you just have to ascend as you move up the thermometer. And that is all the rules of Tannenbaumino by Chris Moore. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. I'm pretty sure no one will watch this video today. Well, although I do think for some people, I'm not saying anything about anyone's family in particular, but it's sometimes nice to get away, isn't it? So maybe people will find a moment to watch this video today. I don't know. But the way to play is to click the link under the video. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. So presumably we must divide this Christmas tree into pentominoes. That must be the first step. So let's go to the pen tool and start drawing. So that cell has to go down there. This red one has to go there. Now, here's a thought. Can the red and the green meet? So can you just make a pentomino like that? And the answer to that, I think, is going to be no. Yeah, it is no, isn't it? Because you can't... Yeah, you can't have a consecutive sequence. Yeah, I'm sure it is no. I'm just trying to articulate a beautiful way of explaining that. It's sort of by obvious observation. Maybe we should talk. No, I have got a beautiful way. It's a very simple way of explaining it. It's really simple. Right, okay. What digit must appear on a 5-cell Renbanimo, or whatever it was, Renbanimo? What digit must appear on it? We know it's 5 consecutive digits. And, okay, so if you imagine the digits 1 to 9 laid out before us, like the stockings were laid out this morning, and we're going to slice a consecutive set of 5 digits from 1, 2, 3, 4, and from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Wherever we make the slice, we'll always include a 5, won't we? So if we were to draw this pentomino, then we know that one of these digits is a 5. Well, how's that going to work from the Germanimo's perspective? Let's say that was the 5. What's the gap? What's this digit now? It's got to be at least 5 different from 5. If we go up, we get to 10. If we go down, we get to 0. We can't make it work. So that is the reason that we can't join up any red dots with green dots. So that's going to be helpful. I can see that immediately here because, Ah, okay, the white dot, isn't the white dot... Yeah, okay, what we should have started with here is we should have started by drawing in boundaries across the silver, white and black dots, because that's what the rules tell us to do. And now it's interesting to think about this square, isn't it? Because in order to get to 5 cells... Oh, I thought... actually, have I broken this already? No, I haven't. But in order to get to 5 cells, even if we take those 4, because we can't take that one as well, we're going to have to take that one. So the green line has to come down to here. And now this cell is isolated. That can't be part of a pentomino unless it's part of the green pentomino. So the red pentomino now has to drop down here and then go there. Yeah, and the green pentomino isn't allowed to come to this square because of this white dot boundary that we've got drawn in. So this is beautiful, actually. I could see exactly where Chris Moore has gone with this. So the first pentomino that we're able to draw is this one, which is the star on the top of the Christmas tree. Isn't that beautiful? That is absolutely brilliant. Okay, so do I leave? Maybe I leave the... I'm going to do that. That feels somehow appropriate. Makes it even more star-like. Now, where's this red one going now? Well, I do know, actually, because I've suddenly realised that this one here, this pentomino, well, that's got to go there. Then it's got to go down. Now, it can't join with red now, or it wouldn't be a pentomino. It would be at least a heptomino. So it's got to go down there. And now red has to go there. And that's another pentomino that we've filled. A less Christmassy one, but welcome all the same. Now, so this green bauble has to come out that way. We know that green and red don't overlap. So that gives us another pentomino here, look. This is a U pentomino, and it's a red Renbanimo. So we should make it red. We should do that. And so far, this is okay, isn't it? It's not as difficult as I feared it might be. Now, the red here has to come that way. We know it doesn't overlap with the green, so the green's got to go down there. The red then must dip down. And dip down again. The red can't be a U, because one of the rules, I remember, said that we couldn't have the same type of pentomino, reflected or rotated. So this can't go there. It can't go there, because it would leave behind a rump of 3 cells to form a triomino, which is not the same as a pentomino. So I think we get a Z pentomino over in this side of the grid. Looking like that. Now, what does this green one do now? So the green one, well, it could be an F. I can see it could be an F, which is that shape. But it could probably be other things as well. It can't be a W for 2 reasons. It would mimic the W above it, which is not allowed, and it would isolate that cell. But it could perhaps be, what's that, an N pentomino. That would mean this one had to drop down. Don't know, actually. Maybe we take the low-hanging fruit then, because this has to be part of a pentomino, and therefore it joins with the cell above it, and that simply forms, look at that, it just forms a Y pentomino at the bottom of the grid. So let's just take a quick audit. We've got an X pentomino, a U pentomino, a W, an N, a Z, and a Y. No, we haven't got an N. Well, we might have an N, but we don't know we've got an N, because that could have been an F, couldn't it? Hang on a sec. Let's just think. We've also got another red one here. It might be to do with 5s. We were thinking about 5s earlier. But we've got to remember, each of these red Renbanimos has to have a 5 on it. And can't have a repeated digit on it. In fact, none of them can have repeated digits on them. Oh, sorry, I'm stuck here. Let me just... There's a pentomino coming in from the bottom right. Okay, let's have a better look at this. So if this was an F, what pressure is that putting on the world? This could be a T. No, that would leave a Y behind in the corner. It could be a V. No, that would make this a V. It could be a P. It could be... Couldn't be a U, could it? It couldn't be another Z. Couldn't be another F. It's actually quite constrained, I think. If this is an F, I think that could be a P. I'm not sure if it could be anything else. Let's have a different... Okay, so what if it was an N here? Then that drops down here. Now, what is available for this now? Oh, now it can be an F, can't it? This is tricky, actually. It can't... So there's going to be a pentomino coming out here. I don't know whether that joins up with the red or not. But I know it doesn't join up with the right-hand green thing. We might be able to... We know that this couldn't be a U, don't we? We definitely know that. So if it goes there, it can't be a W. Does it actually? That's interesting. So if this is an N, does this have to be an F? Is my question. I mean, because I mean, yes, it could be an L, but that's trivially disprovable by it leaves behind a triomino in the corner. So it's definitely not that. It can't be a W. We've already got a W. So if it takes that, how does it not take this square, I suppose, is the question. And the answer is it simply must take this square. Once it takes this square, it can't take this square, so that's out of bounds. It can't take the bottom square, so that's out of bounds. It can't be a Z, so that's out of... So it is an F. There we go. Whoa! Ah, that breaks. Right, so this is what you have to spot. Whew, this is tricky. Right, so the key, therefore... So what we're saying is, if row 5, column 3 forms an N, then row 6, column 8 must form an F. And then, what does this form? And the answer is nothing. It can't be a W. It would isolate a cell and repeat a W. It can't be a Z. It can't be an F. We could just put an F in the grid. There's nothing this can be. Oh, in fact, perhaps an easier way to see this is to say, what shape is this? The blue shape. Well, it has to be a Y, and then there's a Y on the other side of the grid, so that's wrong. Okay, there we go. There was probably an easy way of doing that, but that is a way of proving that this shape is not an N. So we thought, therefore, it had to be, yeah, it can't be a W, so it must be an F. Right, so we can fill that in. Now, do we know what this is now then? Once we know that's an F. Here's an interesting thing about this shape. How does it ever take that cell? The reason I'm worried about that cell is because I've seen the possibility that it has a Y in the corner, which would mimic the Y on the other side. It can't form a Z. It can't form an F. We just put an F in the grid. So this shape here doesn't go to that cell. So it must go to this cell because it must reach a count of 5. Now, what can it not be? Still not easy, actually. It's not easy to immediately see what this has to be. Because it looks to me like it could be an N. We haven't put an N in the grid yet. That doesn't work because of this one, which has absolutely no options. Oh, no, I thought I saw an option. No, it's tricky, actually. It really is tricky. But I don't think we can do this for a few reasons. So if we did do that, what do we make this shape into? You might say a P. Well, no, because that leaves behind a W. We can't put another Y in the grid. We mustn't cut off cells here. We can't put another Z in the grid. And we can't cut off cells. There's nothing it can be. It just doesn't quite work. It's tricky, actually. This is harder than I was expecting it to be. So this is not an N, but it could be a T. No, T leaves, no, we worked out it could never come to this square. So if this isn't an N, what is it? Is it, oh, it's taking this square. It can't be a W. So it must be a P. Okay. It's got to be a P. That's all it can be. And that's going to mean that we should be able to deduce the shape of this one. Right, so this one starts here, and it could be no, it can't be a T. It's got this, no, it hasn't quite got the same problem as this one did, because it could take that square, actually. It could take that square and be an L, and leave behind it an I pentomino along the bottom. I quite like the look of that. Or it could be a V with an N behind it. Ah, hang on. I don't know. I'm now beginning to suspect this wasn't where we were. Well, we probably were meant to start by getting a few of these pentominoes in, and then trying to do other things to do with shapes or fives, possibly. I don't know. I'm not sure how to do that. Let me just have a quick think about whether we can do something clever with any of these shapes. This square is a 1 or a 9. Because this is a German whisper. It's a German whispery star. And therefore, what do we know about German whispers lines, or German whispers differences? Because differences have to be 5 or more. Whatever we put in this central square has to have 4 possible neighbours. So imagine you did try and put an 8 into this square. These 4 digits now all have to be at least 5 different from 8. And we can take 5 off 8 and we can get to 3. So we could put 3, 2 and 1 into 3 of them, but the other one would be unfillable. So we need as much flexibility as possible. So we've got to put 1s and 9s in here. Right, I see. So that means that there are only 2 possible totals for the star. This is clever. Okay, there are 2 possible totals for the star. And those are, if we put 1 in the middle and we have all of the high digits around the edge, then the star, which would be 6, 7, 8 and 9, we'd have 31 in the star. And if we put the 9 in the middle, we'd have 19, because we'd have 9 in the middle with 1, 2, 3, 4 around the edge. So the total for the star is either 19 or 31. But that is 1 different from the total of this pentomino, this U pentomino. And one thing I can tell you about a Renbanimo is that the digits on a Renbanimo are divisible by 5 when you add them all up. And the way to see that is because we're taking 5 consecutive digits. If we take, imagine the middle digit in that sequence, the middle digit by value, not position. I'm not saying this digit. I'm saying the middle digit. If this was 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, the middle digit would be the 3, wherever the 3 appeared. So I'm saying take that middle digit. Let's call that X. Well, then the digits on that Renbanimo could be represented algebraically as X, X plus 1, X plus 2, X minus 1, X minus 2. Add all those digits up, what do you get? 5x. So 5x is obviously divisible by 5. And we now know, I don't know how useful this is, we know that the Renbanimo here, because this is either 19 or 31, this adds up to either 20 or 30. So if it's 20, it's got to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which I know adds up to 20 because I know the triangular number for 6, which is 21, is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. So I've just chopped the 1 off. We get the consecutive cells that add up to 20. Now, if it's 30, I'm less sure what that is. 30, 5, 4, 3. No, it's 8, is it? Is it 8, 7? 8, yeah, 87654 is what it is. I don't know, for some reason in my brain it didn't feel like that could start with an 8, but it does. Yeah, okay. So 87654. So this Renbanimo, so it's either 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 87654. So it's always got 4, 5 and 6 on it. And then the other two digits are either 2 and 3 or 8 and 7. Oh, okay. So, what does that mean for that one? Nothing, I don't think. That one's in a black dot relationship with a green line. So this is either double or half of this, which is the same as that by the silver dot logic. So how does that work then? So if this was the minimum value of 5-cell line, it would add up to 15, which would make this line, but then this would be 15, and 15 doesn't have a half, does it? So this would be 30. Oh, which would make it, well, possibly the same as that, which might put undue pressure on it. But this could be very many other things as well. Well, actually, I'm not sure how many other things it could be. Because, well, what I was thinking was, let's increase this from its minimum of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which we've worked out over here, that add up to 20. Now, if this adds up to 20, we couldn't make this add up to either 10, which would be, because then this adds up to 20, this has to add up to either 10 or 40. Now, 10 and 40 are not possible sums for 5 cells that have to be different. 40 is far too many. The maximum could be 35 if we put 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on it. So what does that mean? Let me think. 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 is 25, isn't it? 25 is no good at all. Yeah, 25 can never be the sum of this one or this one, because the other one will have to be 12.5 or 50, which is even more ludicrous. Okay, so I think where I'm coming to here is that one of these has to be 15. Yeah, okay, but because we know that each of these is divisible by 5, the lowest one is either 15, 20, 25, 30, etc., etc. But we've worked out already that once you get to 20 and you double it, you get to 40, which is impossible. So one of these is a 15. One of these is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But yeah, oh, well, it's not this one. Oh, this is really clever. It's really clever. It's really simple once you start to appreciate it, but I wasn't appreciating it. This can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because if it is, this green line is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we can't possibly put 5 on it. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which means this is 30. Which means this is 30. Which means as it's consecutive, it's the 8, 7 one. So this is 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. This has to be made up to 30 using German whisper logic. How on earth do we do that? What's the pairings here? Whatever that digit is, though. So these 3 digits here have the same polarity. What do I mean by polarity? Well, I mean they're either all above 5 or all below 5. Because whatever this is, imagine this was, I don't know, a 2. Then these squares would have to be 7, 8 and 9, because they have to be 5 different from 2. If this square, on the other hand, was a 7, we couldn't make it work. Let's make it 8. Then these would be 1, 2 and 3, because they all have to be 5 different from 8. So we need to put a number in here, which is either going to be 1, 2, 8 or 9, which does have 3 possible partners, given we can't repeat digits. Now, what I'm thinking is if we do make this a high digit, if we make this high digit, even if we make this 9, we could make those squares 2, 3 and 4 as a maximum. 2, 3 and 4 add up to 9, plus 9 is 18. We'd need another 12 into this square to make it add up to 30. So this is not high. These are this is a low digit, and these squares are high digits. So they're from 6, 7, 8, and 9. But we probably need them to be very high. If they were very high, they'd be 7, 8, 9, which is 24. We'd need these to add up to 6. Oh, we can't use 1, 5, so we'd have to be 2 and 4. But if one of these is a 6, then this becomes a 1. 6, 8, 9 is 23. We can't, yeah, you can't do it. It's really beautiful. It's beautiful logic. Yeah, so what I'm saying here is, if this is not, if the purples are not 7, 8, 9, one of them is a 6. The consequence of one of these being a 6 is to force this down to being a 1, because it needs to be 5 different from whichever one of these is 6. Now the maximum total that these purples can be is 6, 8, 9, which is 23, plus 1 is 24. This needs to be a 6 to make us up to 30, but these two can never be 5 apart if that's how we want to roll our wagon. So we don't want to roll our wagon that way. We need these to be 7, 8, 9. We need these to be a 2, 4 pair. 4 is monogamous as far as German whispers is concerned. Oh, this is good. I can see what this is doing. But 4 only has the partner of 9. This 4 has to appear in the Z pentomino. Where does it appear? Well, it must be here. So 4 comes out of these. Where does 4 go in the W pentomino? I think it can only go in one place. Where does 2 go in the W pentomino? There's only one place. It's beautiful. The flow of this is beautiful. Okay, what does that mean? Oh, where does 4 go in? We know there's a 4 in this pentomino. It's not in any of those squares, so it's in one of these two. If I can get it to be here, then we know that that can't be 9. Because it couldn't have 1, 2, 3 and 4 in the wings of the cross or the star. What time is it, by the way? I'm under time pressure. I've got 15 minutes to finish the puzzle before my next call of duty. But we are doing well. I think we might be able to get it done in that time. Let's have a think. If that square is on another whisper junction, that has to have 3 natural partners. So that's 1, 2, 8 or 9. But we don't know anything about the total for that one. Yeah, that was that was not an intelligent point. What about this one? Do we know anything about that one? No, I don't think so. Oh no, come on. What do we... Oh, yeah, we said that this one was either... It was either 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which seems to have... It would give it a lot of digits in common with this one. That probably isn't right. My suspicion is that this one is going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But I can't exactly prove it yet. Ah, I can do it. Well, I can't do this one, but I can do this one. Right, where does that digit go in box 5? That's the question I want to ask. In fact, I'm going to... Well, no, I'm not going... This digit doesn't repeat in its own pentomino, so it doesn't go there. So where does this digit go? And the answer... I don't actually know where it goes, except it goes in one of these 3 squares, doesn't it? That must be true. Let's give this a yellow flash. So that yellow digit there goes in one of those squares by Sudoku. Where does it go in box 2 then? Well, the answer is I don't know again. But I know it's in one of those 2 squares, which means that the wings of the star up here are high. So this can't be high. Because if this was 9, it's touching a 7 or an 8, which is not going to be 5 different from it. So that is a 1. Which means these squares are 6, 7, 8, and 9. Which means that that's not 1, I suppose. So the wings of this box now are the other digits. So they are 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that is not 2 or 4. There's a 3, 5 pair in the box, so that's a 1. This is these have got to be the other digits then. So this is a 2, 4 pair. But firstly, what we can do is we now know what the total of this is. Because this is 31. So this had to be 30, which means it's 8. Yeah, it's what I thought it was going to be. 8, 7, 6. Oh. Well, sorry, I think it's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, isn't it? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. So it hasn't got 2 in it. That can't be 2. So that fills in more digits. This is not 4. Let's get rid of the 5, 6 pencil mark and actually fill in the options for this. So this is 8, 7, 6, 5, and this 4. It looks like those 4s are in the same box, but I don't think they are. 2 by Sudoku is down here. And okay, what does that mean? I don't know yet. Probably at some point we could work out how this is meant to grow. But let me just mull this over for a moment. Ah, beautiful. Right, that digit is where we're meant to look next, I think. Because by my calculations of seeing a 3, 5 pair at the top, that digit cannot be 1, 2, 3, or 4, so it's high. And why do we care about that? Well, we care about that because that's going to tell us the polarity of along all of these whisper cells, because this now is low, so that's got to be 1 or 3. Can't be 2 or 4. That digit is high, therefore, because it needs to be 5 different from this digit. So this is 8 or 9. This is 1, 2, or 3. It sees a 4. This is maybe 1, 2, 3, or 4, unfortunately. Which is slightly annoying, but I don't know if we can do anything there. Where's 4 in box 6? Well, I don't know, but I do know one position it's not. It's not there. Because 4 at this junction here causes a big problem, because 4 is monogamous, you'd have to put 3 9s around it. So that's not going to work. It might be okay for 4 to go here. If this is 4, this is 9. And 9 is very... it enjoys a lot of partners in German Whisperland. So if that's 9, obviously we can put 1s, 2s and 3s in the wings. That digit though, it's at one of these junctions. So this digit here is 1, 2, 8 or 9 for sure, and it's not 2. So it's 1, 8 or 9. just think about that. If it's 8, these have to be 1, 2, and 3. That would have to be a 2. This would have to be a 1, 3 pair. That would have to be a 4. Can't quite see it. What is it then? Let me just... Oh, come on, Simon. I think we're nearly there. We've just got to... We probably have to work out what that red one does, but there might be a quick way of zeroing in on maybe that digit. That's still got to have 2 partners. If it's low, it would have to be 1 or 3. If it was 3, this would have to be an 8-9 pair. If this was high, that would be a 1. This would have to be... That's quite interesting. If that's a high digit... Gosh, that puts a lot of pressure on the world. If this is a high digit, so that means 6, 7, 8 or 9, well... It can't be many of those because this digit is a 1, because it has to be 5 different from a high digit, and so this would be a 1. But what's this digit then? It can't be 1, it can't be 2 or 4, so this digit would have to be 3. So we'd have a 1 here, a 3 here. That means this is 8 or 9. Oh, sorry, I can't quite see it. It's... Is there anything extra we can do? What's going on in... Oh, I don't know. I don't know, actually. Can we do something with... Maybe box 5 is where I've got to think about things harder. 6 is in one of these squares. 6 can't go there because that would be double 1. So, okay, so 6 is in one of these squares, which means 6 is not in the wings of this U pentomino. That's not 6. Has that improved our lot down this column at all? Or here? If this was... Oh no, it's so close. I thought I was going to get a 6 here, but I can't do it because actually that could be a 6. Right, how am I doing for time? I've got 7 minutes left to finish the puzzle. It's not been a good use of the last few minutes, has it? I've come to a grinding halt. I think I'm meant to look here somehow. What are the options then for this? Hang on. There's a 4 here. So that's going to... If this pentomino sees... Yeah, okay, that's interesting. So that pentomino, which was one of the things we thought was possible because it left an eye at the bottom, that would be very, very stressful in terms of... Or very, very forcing, because this couldn't have 4 anywhere on it, and it's got to be a sequence of 5 digits. So that would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which feels very... unlikely. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that actually broken though? Put 2 at the bottom of the grid. 6, 7, 8, 9. It would mean that was a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 quintuple in row 8. These squares would be from 1, 2, and 3. That would give us a 1, so that would put a 4 in the corner. Okay, that doesn't work. Right, that's quite complicated. It's more complicated than I thought it was, actually. But I can disprove this now. Because if this is 4, this pentomino contains lots and lots of high digits. And that gives us this quintuple in this row. And that makes this digit low, doesn't it? But now, these digits here are high digits. I don't know what they are, but they're not 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s. So they're 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s and 9s. This is a 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9. That's a 7 or an 8. That's a 5, 6, 7, 8 or a 9. But there must be a high digit in one of these two squares. There must be. It's a German whispers relationship. So one of these is 5 different from the other. One of them's high, and that's putting too many high digits in row 7. So that doesn't work. Now that means... Well, what does that mean? So that means this pentomino, well, it now has to come to the bottom row, and in doing that it can't cut off digits because there's only 2 pentominoes left to place. So we know it takes the bottom row digit now, so it's now got a 2 on it, which is interesting. Can it be... It can't be a T because that's going to leave behind a Y, which is the same as that shape. It can't be a P, so it can't be that shape. So it's got to be a V, I think. Okay, and that's fine, isn't it? Because if it's a V, it leaves behind an N, and I don't think we've had an N yet. Let me double check. No, I think that's all right. Okay, so we get an N left, which I will colour differently because it's not got the green or the red qualities to it. But this is the crucial thing. Surely is now I've got a 2 on a on a Renbanimo or whatever it is, a Renbanimo. So this Renbanimo must have 3, 4 and 5 on it. Right, so where does the 4 go on this Renbanimo? It's got to go there. Right, so that digit appears on this pentomino. That digit there. So it goes there. That's not 4 in the corner. Oh, I've nearly got a triple there. So close to being a triple. Oh, look. Right, there's no 1 on this pentomino anymore. Oh, this is beautiful. This is fine now. So 1 in this box is in one of those 2 squares. Oh, watch this. This is a gorgeous point. Right, so this can't be 1. This can't be 1, because if it's 1, what is the polarity of that digit? It's low, isn't it? So if that's 1, that's a low digit, which would make it another 1, which doesn't work. So that's got to be a 1. That's not a 1. Okay. Oh, I thought that was going to be... I did think that was going to be beautiful, but it's not quite, actually. Bother. This Renbanimo, we now know the digits on it. It's 2, 3... Oh, it's got 6 on it in this column. It's got 6 in the column. One of these is a 6. Because it's got 6 on it now, it doesn't have 1 on it, so that's not a 6. So that's a 7-8 pair. That's a 6. So this is a 7-8 pair. One of these is a 9 now, so that's not a 9. Where's 9 in box 8? It's got to go there. Oh, that's it. Right, that's simple, isn't it? So that's a 9. That tells us the polarity of this whisper. So all these digits are low. 2s don't go in there. 4 doesn't go in here. Oh, this is a naked single. 3. That's going to do huge damage, isn't it? Because, yeah, 3 only has 2 natural partners on whispers, 9 and 8. So that's a 7. That's an 8. We can't repeat digits within the purple. This is now not 7 and 8. So this is 5 and 6, which means these squares are not 5 and 6. These are 7 and 8. That's a 9 down here. There's now... there is a 9 in one of those. But this blue thingy thing, polyomino, pentomino, has no quality, so we can't say it doesn't have 9 on it just because it's got 1 on it. These are not 8s, so this is a 5, 7, so this is a 6, 8, look. We must know that digit, that's a 5. So that's a 5 by the logic that we had before, so these squares are 2, 3 and 6. And 7 gets knocked out of these top squares, so that becomes a 7. Oh no, I'm meant to go now, but I'm really close to finishing, I think. Although I haven't even thought about the thingy thing. 5 here means this is a 3, that's a 5. That's a 7. Oh, I don't know if you can hear. I'm being summoned. Oh no! I might have to come back and finish this. This is one of the perils of trying to do these videos at Christmas time. That can't be 4 because 4 is only 4 different from 8. So that's 1. That's 4. That's now not 1. What's going on in this row? Lots of things. Where's 9 in the row? It's got to go there. So 9 is up here somewhere. 5 is looking at that digit, so that's 7, that's 5. Come on, Simon, we're close now. Can we do... I see, even if I do a speedy finish, it's not going to be... I don't think I can do it speedily enough. 7 is in one of these squares. What have we got in this box? 4, 5 and 6 to place. Let's put that in there. That's not 4. We can't repeat a digit in a pentomino, so that's not 2, look. It's going to be something to do with... Where's 1 in box 9, actually? Can't repeat in a pentomino, can it? So 1 is placed. Where's 1 in box 3? It's there. Where's 1 in box 1? Oh, it's probably in the bulb of the thermo. That bulb, the other bulb, is not 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5, so it's at least 6. It can only be 6 or 7 because we can't make this higher than 9. This second digit can't be 6 or 7, so it's got to be higher than 6. It must be 8. 8 and 9 go in. That's beautiful. That does the 9 and the 8. One of these is 8 now, and it can't be 8 on the bulb because that would be at least a 10. So 8 and 1 go in. This... no, it's a 6, 7 pair over here. So these squares are 2, 3 and 4. That's a naked single 3. So that's the 2, that's the 4. We're going to be close, aren't we? But I don't think I'm quite going to finish it. That's now 9. 3, 6, 7. Let's put that in. 3, 6, 7. This is 5 and 4. That's a 4, 5, 6 triple, so that's not 6. This is too big for that to be a 3 in the corner, so we're going to get a 7 there. And, okay, this square in the corner is not a 1, so that must be the 1 at the bottom there. In this column, we've not put in 3. Oh, that's a 3. It's a naked single. It sees a 5, 6 pair, so that's 3 and 6 done at the top of the grid. So these squares are 1, 2, 7 and 8. So this is a 1, 7 pair, and we can do that. This is a 2, 8 pair. Well, that's useful in... Oh! That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight. Losing its religion. 3, 6 pair gives me a 2 here. We should be able to get these digits at the end. 6 and 8 now. Whoops. That's 8 then. That's 6 in the corner. That's 6. That's 7. That's 7. That's 9 by Sudoku. These squares have got to be 3 and 5. I don't believe it. 3 and 5, I was going to say. It must be sorted out somehow. Can't see how immediately. Okay, so we need 3, 5 and 9 into this column. So the 9 must go there. That's got to be 3. That's 3. That's 5 by Sudoku. We need 2, 6, 5. So that's 6, 6, 8. Up. 5, 2. 2, 8. Come on, Simon, please. Oh no, I'm stuck again. Why am I stuck? That's 5. So that's 5, that's 4. That's 4, that's 6. That's 6, that's 3. That's 5, that's 6. Oh, I did it. I've got to go. Thank you so much for watching Cracking the Cryptic. Happy Christmas to you all. What an amazing puzzle by Chris Moore. Absolutely beautiful, festive arrangement of Christmas tree and baubles, which I loved. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.